Hello, everybody, and welcome to my AEW Road Rager review. So, we started off with Cody Rhodes versus QT Marshall, the South Beach Street match. Uh, strap match, sorry. This match was okay, nothing too big. Uh, it was a normal Cody Rhodes match. QT Marshall bladed. Someone has to bleed in a Cody match. During the match, the power went out. There was a big blackout, and I'm like, oh no, did they go out in their first outing outside again? Please no. Turns out that was all for nothing. So we are good in that aspect. We're good there. Um, yeah, it was a fine match. Nothing too big. Uh, Cody won because you have to like hit all four posts consecutively. So I was thinking when they said that, I'm like, oh, so this is like the Cena Rusev Russian chain match, the JBL Eddie Guerrero Texas Bull Rope match. That's what I was thinking of. So yeah, this match was fine. Nothing to really write home about. It was just okay. It was just to get the crowd hyped at the beginning. But I think if you wanted to get the crowd hyped at the beginning, you could have gone with something better, to be honest. But Cody won again. He hit 3 crossroads in a row before hitting all 4 posts. So yeah, he beat QT Marshall, man. I was hoping QT Marshall won because then they could write Cody off TV so he could spend time with his daughter. But I guess we're not doing that. Then we had Kenny Omega come out. He still got the Triple H freaking goatee. He came out with Don Callis. The crowd started chanting, "You got fired" at Don Callis, and Don Callis went, "Real men don't get fired. Real men get fired. They don't quit." The crowd started saying that they want Hangman, and Don Callis was like, "Oh, I'll tell you what you want, and what you want is Kenny Omega." And he said that Kenny still doesn't have an opponent for Fight for the Fallen, and this is a problem. So Fight for the Fallen is, you mark that down. That's Kenny's next title defense. Dark Order come out. And Evil Uno's like, Kenny, why are you ignoring the fans? Why are you ignoring my best friend? And Kenny responds with Evil Uno saying, he's like, you seem like a smart guy. What's the, can I ask you a question? What's the capital of Thailand? And he then low blows Evil Uno and goes, it's Bangkok, baby. The Good Brothers come out. They help Kenny beat up the Dark Order. When the Dark Order is disposed of, the Good Brothers pick up Evil Uno. Kenny's about to beat him up. Hangman comes out to a huge bop and takes out the Good Brothers. He's about to give Kenny a buckshot. Kenny and him have a stare down, and Kenny escapes. The crowd is ready, man. They're so ready for Hangman to take this title off Kenny. I am ready. I'm ready for Hangman to take the title off Kenny. I love Kenny's title reign so far. It's been phenomenal. But it's time now. At All Out, this is it. Hangman's gonna get that belt, and the crowd's just gonna erupt. We had a sit-down interview with like JR, Ethan Page, and Darby Allin, hyping up the coffin match. Darby says that the reason Ethan Page doesn't like him is because in 1 year in the business, Darby has made it to where Ethan is in 12 years. Ethan's like, yeah, that's true. He's like, I plucked you out of obscurity and I introduced you to the wrestling world. But come next week in our coffin match, I'm gonna take you out of it. It was a good promo. It did what it needed to do, which was just hype up their coffin match, which was again supposed to happen this week, but because of the building collapse, they decided maybe it's best not to do a coffin match in Miami. But I'm really looking forward to this, man. I am really excited for this, like genuinely excited to see these two fight. Because Ethan Page has quickly become one of my favorites. And Darby, he's Darby. Everyone loves Darby. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to this coffin match, man. The Pinnacle and the Inner Circle. So had a 6-man tag match. The Pinnacle was Wardlow and FTR, and Inner Circle was Jake Hager and Santana and Ortiz. I gotta be honest, I wasn't really too into this one. I didn't really like it. I wasn't excited about this at all. I'm just waiting for FTR and Proud and Powerful to fight. That's all I'm waiting for, because I know that match is going to be awesome. This match is just a stepping stone to their tag match. I didn't really care, to be honest. I was eating dinner at this point and was really just... This match was so uninteresting to me, I just focused on my dinner. But FTR got the win for their team. They hit the big rig on Hager, and then Wardlow pinned him. That was that. I don't. I didn't like this, man. I'm just waiting for FTR, Santana, and Ortiz. I'm just waiting for that. That's what I'm really looking forward to. But this was just, yeah. Chris Jericho and MJF had their face-to-face showdown. Right at the beginning, as the crowd has just finished singing Judas, a fan popped up on the ramp, and you can hear MJF go into the mic and say, "Cut it, cut it." The security grabbed the fan, and Jericho got a few shots in on him, which was cool. But this ends with pretty much it's decided that MJF wants Jericho to do the labors of Hercules, like Greek mythology, where for the next, I think, like 4 weeks, Jericho's gonna face an opponent of MJF's choosing, in whatever stipulation MJF wants, and Jericho has to win these matches back to back. And then he can fight MJF. Uh, I thought like these two were gonna fight at like Fight for the Fallen or Fighter Fest Night 2 or something, but they're stretching it out to All Out, which I guess is the smarter move. Um, yeah, it does make sense in the long run now I think about it. Jericho also dropped a thing where he's like, if I can't beat you, maybe I shouldn't be in AEW anymore. Which I'm like, oh no, because I don't want Jericho to go away. I love this Chris Jericho, but if he does lose, he'll probably just take a break, like a tiny break, you know. Hopefully, he's not gone for too long. Because they did this a bit before, teasing Jericho leaving. Like at the beginning of last year, when Fozzy was going on tour, Jericho was like to John Moxley, "If I lose this tag match, I'll leave for 30 days." And then he won the match and didn't actually leave. But yeah, this was a good segment. Jericho also said he'll have sex with MJF's mom, and the crowd wanted him to do it. So this is my type of crowd. I love this segment, man. Really good. Then we had Andrade El Idolo versus Matt Sydal. If you want a good person to showcase Andrade's abilities with, Matt Sydal is your guy. Um, and these two just had a great match. Andrade came out looking like Black Mask from DC Comics, which he looks awesome. And he's wrestling in his freaking in those like uh dress pants he came out with too. Yeah, these two just had a great match. Andrade did the cool moonsault thing he does, where he does the moonsault. The guy moves out of the way, so he lands on his feet and then does another moonsault. I love that. He also the crowd was very much behind Andrade. They were kind of booing Matt Sydal at places because Andrade went to go for a frog splash and he did like the Eddie Guerrero taunt. The crowd was going nuts. Matt Sydal stopped that and the crowd was booing. You know. But he won with it was like a hammerlock flatliner. It wasn't the DDT. It was a hammerlock like flatliner. I think he might have been going for the DDT, but he just didn't get the head underneath his arms. But he won with that. He calls that one El Idolo. So, and then he attacked Matt Sydal after the match with like some Rings of Saturn type thing. But it was good. It showed Andrade how great of a wrestler he is, even though we already knew that. But and this, I'm so happy because now he can let loose. He no longer is restrained by WWE's limitations. He can just go and wrestle. And I am so excited to see what he can do here, man. Like, this would be so cool. Then we had Arn Anderson come out. And he's talking about, oh, he's so happy that fans are back, you know, this stuff, you know? Then the lights go out again. And I'm like, oh no, not another power outage. But it wasn't a power outage. It never was a power outage. Because Tommy N shows up when the lights come back on. The crowd loses their mind. I'm losing my mind in my freaking room. And then he gives him a black mask. And he's here. He is now known as Malaki Black. No longer Tommy End. He is Malaki Black. Dude, this was awesome. And then Cody came out and he gave Cody a black mask, which does dampen the mood because, of course, Cody's going to be his first opponent. Of course, Cody had to put himself in that position. Because he always does. I've really soured on Cody, by the way, ever since the Anthony Ogogo situation. Because it's like, Cody, he always has to be in the damn spotlight, man. Go away. Go away. But even Cody trying to insert himself into this could not just take away how exciting and how awesome this moment was, man. This was awesome. If you've seen his Malachi Black's video on the Insane Asylum thing, go watch it. It's really good. It's like the Moxley prison thing, where Moxley was escaping the prison, which was WWE. 2, Malachi Black, WWE was an insane asylum that he's been in for the past 5 years, which was awesome. This was great. I lost my mind. I popped. I marked out. Whatever phrase you want to use. This was great, man. And I cannot wait to see him, you know, to see what he can do here in AEW without any restrictions from creative, man. Like, so he can see his full vision of this character. It's going to be awesome. We then had the main event of the Young Bucks defending the tag team titles against Eddie and Penta. Really in a street fight. This was good. I enjoyed this. Best match of the night, which that's how it should be. The main event should be the best match of the night. I did feel this was a bit much in something, like there was too much going on with like the Good Brothers coming out, then Frankie Kazarian came out. It was like a bit much in places, but you know, that's my big criticism of this, if I can give it one, because the action was awesome. They had thumbtacks. Everyone took a bump in the thumbtacks, which made me happy. The ending of this match, the Young Bucks were freaking throwing thumbtacks in like Eddie and Penta's eyes, which is really dangerous. The ending for the match was the Young Bucks gave Eddie a BTE trigger while putting thumbtacks in his mouth. You're trying to kill the man. But they retained, obviously. I think everyone knew the Young Bucks were going to retain. They shaved their mustaches. Their mustaches are gone, thank God. They're clean shaven now. They came out in jean shorts. They came out in jorts because it's a street fight and you have to wear jeans in a street fight, which made me laugh so hard. But this was a good main event, man. I really like this main event. Great ending to a pretty great show. The only downside of the show for me was the Inner Circle Pinnacle match. Like, I know I talked about the Cody and QT thing, but that's like it wasn't as bad as the Pinnacle and Inner Circle stuff. If I had to give the rating of this show a rating out of 10, I would give it a solid 8, maybe 8.5, because I really enjoyed this, man. Like, this was really good now. And this begins a whole month of super shows like this for AEW. And if they're all like this, we're in for a good time. Because this was really good, man. I really liked this show. And then we have Fyter Fest Night 1 to look forward to next week. We got Matt Hardy versus Christian Cage. We got the Coffin match between Ethan and Darby. The FTW title match between Brian Cage and Ricky Starks. And we have, I believe they announced Penelope Ford versus Yuka Sakazaki, because Yuka Sakazaki's back. So that makes me happy, because I love Yuka Sakazaki. And then they announced this is a big announcement. John Moxley returns next week, and he will defend the IWGP US title against Carl Anderson. So, I'm excited for next week too. They got a lot of stuff going on. Yeah, I don't know what else to say other than this was a great show. Really enjoyed it. If you haven't seen it, you can go watch it. And I'm really excited for Fyter Fest Night 1 next week. So thank you all for watching. Hope you all enjoyed, or more listening. Thank you all for listening to this review. I really hope you all enjoyed it. Please let me know what you thought of Road Rager in the comments down below. Like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Share this video with family, friends, and I'll see you all next time.